What's going on, NASCAR Nation? Welcome back to the channel. If you ever needed proof that NASCAR is the most brutal sport on the planet, Sunday's Advent Health 400 at Kansas Speedway just gave it to you in HD. Kyle Larson, the reigning NASCAR Cup Series champion, had the race won. He had cleared Denny Hamlin on the overtime restart. He was ahead by a car length, coming down the backstretch. He himself said the restart worked out perfect. And then, in the last two corners of the last lap, Tyler Reddick ripped the trophy right out of his hands. That's Larson's third podium of the season without a win. Now, 33 races, the longest drought of his Hendrick Motorsports career, and tied for the sixth longest ever by a reigning NASCAR champion. So, what is actually going wrong here? Is this a Larson problem? A Hendrick problem? Or is he just the victim of the worst luck imaginable? Stick around, because we are breaking every piece of this down. Let's get into it. Let's start with the context, because this is what makes Sunday so painful. Kyle Larson came into Kansas Speedway knowing full well this is where he last won a race all the way back in May of 2025. According to Fox Sports Garage report from before the weekend, Larson returned to Kansas Speedway with a 3-2 race winless streak, the site of his last race win nearly a year ago. Think about that. A full year. This is a driver who, according to Kevin Harvick's own analysis on his Happy Hour podcast, was once making winning look easy. And now, Larson himself, speaking to NASCAR.com ahead of the race, admitted it. It's kind of wild to think that, yeah, it's almost been a year since I've won. I don't feel like we're that bad. I think ultimately celebrating the championship in Phoenix felt like a win in a lot of ways. But yeah, ultimately, we want to get back to victory lane. We're working as hard as we ever have worked. I feel like, as a group, we want to win. That's the reigning champion basically pleading. And here's the part that stings even more. Larson followed that up with a stat of his own. I know, a lot of times we've made winning maybe look easy, but it's not. And I've never felt that it was easy. And now the numbers are catching up to him. Before Kansas, he had 6 combined second-place and third-place finishes in 2026. That included a dominant Bristol run just 2 weeks ago where, according to Yardbarker, Larson led a race-high 284 of 500 laps and still finished third behind race winner Ty Gibbs and Ryan Blaney. Leading laps, contending every week, and still no wins. Now, here's what makes the Kansas loss so brutal. Larson wasn't just running in the top 5. According to Yardbarker, Larson led 78 laps on Sunday, second only to Denny Hamlin's 131. He finished stage 1-inch second. And then, in stage 2, he took over completely. According to NASCAR.com's recap, Larson cleared Hamlin on the stage 2 restart, led 77 laps through the segment, and won the stage. And during that stretch, he did something truly historic. He passed Kevin Harvick, who had 949 laps led at Kansas, for the most all-time laps led at this racetrack. That's a generational milestone. Larson now stands alone on the all-time Kansas Speedway laps led list. And he did it while running down the lead, running strong, and looking like a guy finally ready to break his winless streak. Then came the final pit cycle and some tough luck. The race leaders, Hamlin, Reddick, and Christopher Bell, all cycled around him. Bell took over the lead. Reddick passed Hamlin with 10 laps to go. And Larson? He was dropped back to third and lost contact with the leaders, over 10 seconds behind as the race wound toward a green flag finish. But then came the Cody Ware caution on lap 266. Overtime. And suddenly, Kyle Larson was right back in the fight. This is where the story gets really painful for Larson, because he actually nailed the overtime restart. According to NASCAR.com's post-race driver recap, Larson gave them the full play-by-play. The restart worked out perfect for me. Denny was stretching away, and Brad Keselowski gave me a tap and let me rebuild my momentum and was able to do a later move getting to the inside of Denny into one. Reddick had to protect his outside, so it made him go the long distance. I got clear of the lead and was happy, really happy. Larson did everything right. He got a push from Keselowski. He waited for the perfect moment. He dove to the inside of Hamlin and cleared him cleanly into turn one. He was happy. He was clear. The race was his. And then, on that same restart, Tyler Reddick made contact with Christopher Bell behind him, sending Bell into the wall. That chaos behind the leaders actually helped Larson. It slowed Reddick down. It gave Larson clean air. Everything was setting up for that long-awaited win number 33 to finally come. But then turn 3 happened. Larson continued in the NASCAR.com post-race quote. But then, I went down into turn 3, and I couldn't carry the throttle and speed. I was super tight and didn't get through there like I needed to. Tyler had a big run behind me and knew I was going to be in trouble either lane I went. His balance was gone. The car wouldn't turn. And speaking to Fox Sports' Regan Smith, Larson admitted he was scared. When it all worked out like that, I was like, oh great, clean air. And then I went through 3 and 4. I was plowing, and yeah, I was nervous. And then I could tell he had a huge run on me behind and thought maybe if I could get to the banking, it would load and cut. But it didn't. Reddick dove under him, cleared him through the final 2 corners, won by 0.118 seconds. Now here's the part nobody is talking about. And honestly, it should be the headline of the Kansas race. According to WCNC Charlotte, Kyle Larson's 3-race winless streak now ties him for the SIXT's longest drought ever by a reigning NASCAR Cup Series champion. Let me say that again. A driver who won the championship just 5 months ago is now approaching records held by Benny Parsons, Dale Earnhardt, Brad Keselowski, Ned Jarrett, and Matt Kenseth. Here's the full list per WCNC's breakdown. Benny Parsons holds the all-time record at 42 races. He won the 1,973 title with just 1 victory. Went winless the entire 1,974 season. And didn't return to victory lane until the 1975 Daytona 500. Dale Earnhardt is second at 39 races. The 1,980 champion won 5 races and the title that year before finally winning again at Darlington in 1982. Brad Keselowski went 37 races without a win during and after his 2012 championship campaign. Ned Jarrett went 35 races between wins after his 1961 title. Matt Kenseth, the 2003 champion, went 35 races before winning at Rockingham in 2004. And Larson is now at 33. He's currently tied with Kyle Busch, who endured a 3-3 race winless stretch following his 2019 championship before returning to victory lane at Texas in 2020. 1 more race without a win, and Larson moves past Kyle Busch. 2 more, and he's closing in on Kenseth and Jarrett. This is the kind of streak that, if it continues, could go down in history for all the wrong reasons. So what is the diagnosis here? Because Larson isn't running badly, he's running great. According to Yardbarker, he picked up 54 points at Kansas to pull himself back into the top 5 in the championship standings. He has 6 top 1-0 finishes in 2026. He has 3 podiums. And he was quick enough to lead the most laps at Bristol. Larson himself pointed to the adversity the team endured in 2025. Speaking to NASCAR.com about the offseason, he said, "Last year was a really tough year for our team personally and professionally, with different members of our team passing away, or team members having family members pass away. A fresh pit crew came in. There were so many things last year that could have derailed us, but I think Cliff's leadership kept us on the right track." That's a reference to crew chief Cliff Daniels. Larson also explained how the team used book studies and team gatherings to build chemistry with a largely new group. But the finishing blow keeps being the same problem. 2-tire strategy calls under late cautions that leave his no. 5 Chevrolet too tight to turn, as happened at Kansas. This is the third time. In 2026, his day has ended short because of late race execution. Larson's own words at Bristol, per NASCAR.com, say it all. We would love to just get back to leading bunch of laps and top threes in stages and top threes in the race. Ultimately, we'd love to get a win to break the streak, I guess. But more than anything, I just want to have good runs where I feel like I can contend for a win. He's contending. He's just not winning. So here's where Kyle Larson stands. He's the reigning Cup Series champion. He's winless for a year. He's tied for the 6th longest winless streak ever by a sitting champion. He's 5th in the points standings with Tyler Reddick, 105 points ahead of second place. And next Sunday, the Cup Series heads to Talladega Superspeedway, a track where, according to Essentially Sports, Larson has never won a Cup Series race in his career. Translation: don't expect the winless streak to end at Talladega. The Superspeedway is a coin flip at the best of times, and Larson has no Cup wins there to give us confidence. If he can't win at Talladega, he's looking at Dover or Kansas's second visit in September as his next real shots, and by then, the streak could easily be at 35 races or more. The question is no longer, when will Larson win again? It's, how high is this drought going to climb before he finally breaks through? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think Larson breaks the streak before the chase starts? Or does this thing hit 40+ races? Smash that like button if this breakdown helped. Subscribe for more NASCAR coverage. And I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.